Every brand starts with a vision, a spark, a direction, a belief that something meaningful can be built from nothing. But over time, something changes. The message starts to drift. The visuals become inconsistent. The audience begins to lose connection even if the content is still being produced. And slowly, silently, the brand begins to feel unclear. Like a cracked mirror, still reflecting something real, but no longer whole. And here's the uncomfortable truth most people avoid. Brands don't usually fail because they are weak. They fail because they become unclear. Because in today's world, clarity is not optional. It is survival. If someone cannot understand who you are, what you do, and why you matter within seconds, they move on. Not because they hate your brand, but because they don't understand it. And confusion is where attention dies. But here is the part that changes everything. A broken brand identity is not the end of the road. It is a signal, a warning, and more importantly, an opportunity. Because when you rebuild a brand with intention, structure, and clarity, you don't return to your old level. You rise above it. So in this video, we are going to rebuild your brand identity step by step. Not theory, not fluff, but a practical real-world system you can actually apply. And if you stay until the end, you will have a complete roadmap to turn confusion into clarity and clarity into authority, trust, and growth. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Why Brand Identity Breaks. Before rebuilding anything, you need to understand why it collapsed in the first place. Most brands don't break suddenly. They decay slowly. And there are a few clear reasons for that. First, identity drift. This is when your brand slowly starts becoming something it was never meant to be. At the beginning, you are clear. You know your message. You know your audience. You know your direction. But then comes pressure. Pressure to grow faster. Pressure to follow trends. Pressure to compete. So you start changing things. New styles. New messages. New positioning. And without realizing it, your identity starts dissolving. Second, inconsistency. One day, your brand sounds professional. The next day, it sounds casual. Another day, it sounds overly promotional. There is no stable voice. And when a brand has no stable voice, the audience cannot trust it. Third, audience confusion. You try to speak to everyone. But when you speak to everyone, you connect with no one. Because clarity requires focus. And focus requires saying no. Fourth, emotional disconnect. Most brands focus on features. What they sell. What they offer. What they provide. But customers don't buy features. They buy outcomes. They buy transformation. They buy emotion. If your brand does not create emotion, it does not create memory. And if it does not create memory, it does not create loyalty. So now the question becomes simple. Where did your brand lose its clarity? Because you cannot fix what you do not understand. Chapter 2. Resetting your brand foundation. Now we begin rebuilding from the core. Every strong brand is built on 3 pillars: purpose, audience, promise. Let's break it down. Purpose is your reason for existing beyond money. Ask yourself, why does this brand matter? What problem am I trying to solve? What change do I want to create? Without purpose, your brand becomes a transaction, not a mission. Next is audience. This is where most people make a critical mistake. They try to reach everyone. But branding is not about everyone. It is about someone. A specific group of people with a specific problem. The more specific you are, the stronger your message becomes. Then comes promise. This is the transformation you deliver. Not what you do, but what changes because of what you do. For example, not, we offer marketing services, but we help confused businesses become clear, trusted, and profitable brands. That is a promise. Now here is the formula you must remember. We help audience achieve transformation through method. This is not just a sentence. It is a foundation. Because once your identity is clear, everything else becomes easier. Your content becomes clearer. Your messaging becomes sharper. Your direction becomes focused. Clarity removes confusion. And clarity builds momentum. Chapter 3. Rebuilding your brand message. Now we move into communication. Because identity is internal, but message is external. And this is where brands win or lose attention. A strong brand message has 3 qualities: simplicity, consistency, emotion. Let's start with simplicity. If your message is complicated, your audience will ignore it. People do not want to decode your brand. They want to understand it instantly. So your job is to simplify, not complicate. Second is consistency. Most brands fail here. They keep changing their message depending on trends, competitors, or moods. But strong brands repeat the same core idea in different ways. Not because they lack creativity, but because repetition builds recognition, and recognition builds trust. Third is emotion. Because people don't remember information. They remember feelings. Your message should answer one question: how does my brand make people feel? Safe, confident, empowered, successful, understood? If your brand does not create emotional connection, it becomes forgettable. Now, let's make this practical. Instead of saying, "We provide digital solutions," say, "We help businesses turn attention into customers through clear strategic branding." Same idea, different impact. Because one is information, and the other is transformation. Chapter 4. Building visual identity that sticks. Now we move to what people see. Your visual identity is not decoration. It is communication. Colors, fonts, layouts, style. All of these send psychological signals. If your visuals are inconsistent, your brand feels unstable. If your visuals are clean and aligned, your brand feels trustworthy. So here is the rule. Less is more. Choose 2 or 3 core colors. Not 10. Not random combinations. 2 or 3. Then choose 1 or 2 fonts and stick with them everywhere. Consistency creates recognition. Recognition creates familiarity. Familiarity creates trust. And trust is what converts audiences into customers. Your visuals should also reflect personality. Ask yourself, is my brand premium? Is it bold? Is it modern? Is it minimal? Is it energetic? Define it clearly. Because if you don't define it, your audience will define it for you. And that is never good. Now apply it everywhere. Your thumbnails, your posts, your website, your ads. Everything must feel like one system. Not random pieces, but one identity. Chapter 5. Reconnecting with your audience. Now we move to the most important part. Because branding is not just identity. It is relationship. And relationships require connection. If your brand has been inconsistent, you cannot just continue like nothing happened. You must reconnect. Start by acknowledging evolution. Tell your audience, we are improving, we are becoming clearer, we are building something stronger. People respect honesty. Then, share your journey. Not just success, but the process. Because people connect more with progress than perfection. Next, deliver value immediately. Do not wait. Start helping. Start teaching. Start solving problems. Because value rebuilds trust faster than anything else. And finally, engage. Talk to your audience. Reply to comments. Ask questions. Build conversations. Because brands are not built by posting, they are built by interaction. Chapter 6. The Brand Rebuild Roadmap. Now let's turn everything into action. In the next 7 days, here is what you do. Day 1 and 2. Define your purpose, audience, and promise. Day 3 and 4. Rewrite your brand message in a simple, clear way. Day 5 and 6. Fix your visuals, colors, fonts, and design consistency. Day 7. Reintroduce your brand to the world. Announce your clarity. Share your transformation. And start showing up with consistency. This is not theory. This is execution. Final message. A broken brand is not a failure. It is feedback. It is telling you something is unclear. Something is misaligned. Something needs rebuilding. And when you listen to that message instead of ignoring it, everything changes. Because clarity is not just a strategy. It is power. It builds trust. It builds authority. It builds growth. So if your brand feels unclear right now, do not panic. Rebuild it. Refine it. And elevate it. Because your strongest brand is not behind you. It is the one you are about to create. Call to action. If you found value in this video, like this video, comment your biggest brand challenge, and subscribe for more brand building strategies. And most importantly, come back again, because the next video will take you even deeper into how to turn your brand into a powerful authority in your niche. Until then, keep building, keep improving, and keep your brand clear. We'll see you in the next one.